What's up everyone, my name is PK, I'm your male sports officer. In this episode, we're going to be speaking to Ines, the Vice President. This episode is titled All Things Accom. She will be speaking to you about living in private accommodation, and right now, I'm going to be speaking to you about living in uni accommodation. So, let's get into it. I lived in Whitworth Park accommodation. It is on city campus, and the location of it was pretty good, if you're being honest. I was close to Sainsbury's, I was close to McDonald's, close to Domino's, Subway. There was a Lidl and a Tesco not too far away. Hospital close, and it was pretty close to town, pretty close to Fallowfield, so like in the middle of everything. It was also pretty close to my lectures because that's important.
The big one.
Come on.
We had to share the flat with 6 other people. Well, me, had to share the flat with 6 other people. And to be honest, I found it all right. Me personally, I didn't really mingle with any of my flatmates. But they all seemed cool, like cool people. The room was pretty small and it did not look nice at all. Me and my friends nicknamed it HMP Whitworth because it looked like a prison. We had to share a bathroom and we had to share a kitchen. So first of all, what people may be like most scared of, sharing a bathroom. Sharing a bathroom, in my personal experience, wasn't actually too bad. It was never really too dirty, never really too smelly. And I only bumped into somebody like once or twice throughout the whole 9 months I was there. There's a cleaner that comes in twice a week, so to make sure like nothing's ever really too bad. And personally, I had quite, well, in terms of bathroom, I had quite clean flatmates, and I was lucky in that aspect because I've heard of like terrible stories, but from my personal experience, nothing too bad ever happened. Something that was slightly an issue for me was sharing the kitchen. So if I was describing the kitchen in Whitworth, you had 2 stoves right next to each other, and you had 2 small fridges, which made 2 small fridges and 1 big freezer. Fridge space was an issue because with 7 people, they all have their own containers, their own ingredients, and it just became a little bit of an issue. Why did I do this outside? If I was to describe the kitchen, it would be 2 stoves right next to each other, 2 mini fridges, well, like 2 half fridges, and 1 big freezer. The fridge space was an issue because there's 7 people living together. Everyone has their own containers, their own ingredients, their own stuff. So it was basically first come, first serve. I think in a more organized flat, you could organize like shelves assigned to each person. There was more than enough cupboard space for everyone. And the freezer space wasn't really too much of an issue for me because I only ever froze like meats and stuff. Pardon me.
Look at this one.
Keeping the kitchen clean was an issue. Loads of people don't have home training, didn't wash up after they'd finished. And there was one time I came back up there from London and there was just mold in like potatoes just on the side. And wow, it wasn't the best. But I've had other people with better experiences. No one ever stole my food. The worst thing that happened to my food was someone must have brought it out while taking out some of their things and just left it out there. And that hurt my chest because that was my mum's stew. Damn. But overall, I don't think living in uni accom was too bad of an experience for me. Some other things you may want to know about uni accom, the organization. So let's say parcels and stuff. With me, and I think this is the same for most uni accom, it gets delivered to a main office and then they email you. And once you receive the email, you can go down, collect your stuff and go back out. Comes to ordering food, so Domino's, whatever. They're not allowed within the uni accom grounds, so you generally just have to meet them at the gate someplace. It's not too complicated. Generally, for each flat, you're given a flat advisor, so someone like on the res life team, so someone to help you if you have any like problems, someone to help make sure everyone's doing all right physically and mentally, so just to keep support throughout the year. And it's a good scheme. I never really used my res life officer, but some people did, and it's very helpful. And I think that is all I have to say for uni accom. Peace.
Hi guys, it's Ines and your good Phillips, your Vice President for next year. I just wanted to give you an insight about living in private accommodation while you're at university, especially in your first year. When I came to Manchester, I lived in private. I lived in the chapel up in Brook Street, just because I didn't feel like accommodation suited me, so I just went straight into private. I lived in a studio on my own, but it was in the university accommodation kind of thing with loads of other university students of different ages. Some of them that were doing their masters, some that were doing their first degree, some doing their third. So I was with a bunch of students in a student accommodation building. Living in private for me was a really great experience. It allowed me to grow. I had to cook for myself, I had to clean for myself. I was living on my own, so I really did have to fend for myself, and it made me very, very independent. But I really enjoyed the experience, and I felt like it was something that suited me more than living in accommodation with a lot more people. And I felt like going to private would just suit me better. When I was looking at private accommodations, I was looking at different things online, looking at stuff like how close it was to uni, how close it was to the library, transport links, and how close it was to like campuses like the Fallowfield campus, and how close it was to other students living in the uni. So when you're looking for private accommodation, look at things like bills and the amount of money you're going to pay for per week, and what you get for the money you're paying, because some accommodations don't include things like heating in the weekly payment. And some people have tripped up and not seen that, and then have to pay extra because they haven't seen that you don't pay for stuff like heating or water. So do your research and look deeply into what you're getting for your money's worth. So I lived at the chapel up at Brook Street, which was right behind uni, and it was a 5-minute walk to university. So closer than most other uni accommodations. So I was walking to uni every day. It was a quick walk to my lectures, quick walk to the library. In terms of making friends and feeling like I missed out, I feel like in my first term, I felt like I was missing out on a bit, and I had to join a lot more clubs. I did a lot more sports. I was going out, meeting people all the time from my course and from different courses, doing different things like pub quizzes. Like I had to put myself out there and make more of an effort to meet people, but I didn't feel like I lacked anything in that sense. If you're thinking of going private, I think it would suit somebody who's a lot more independent, who enjoys having their own space, taking care of themselves, and like just being able to fend for themselves. Who's somebody who's very independent. And if you like your own space and you don't really want to share things, private would suit you. I don't think you should worry about making friends, because if you put yourself out there, speak to people in your lectures, join clubs, join sports, you won't feel like you lacked anything from your university experience. I don't feel like I lacked anything from my university experience, even though I lived in private in my first year. I still met a lot of people, I still met a lot of friends, I've still enjoyed my time in Manchester so much. So the 3 private accommodations that I would recommend if you're looking to be close to university are Beta Circle Square, Chapel Upper Brook Street, and IQ Winslow Park. These 3 accommodations are at least a 10-minute walk to university and have all the bus links going across it. So you can go from Fallowfield to your accommodation one bus ride in less than 20 minutes. So those three private accommodations are the ones I recommend, just because they're close to uni, they're close to the libraries, they have very good transport links next to them, and getting to and from the station to uni to the library to Fallowfield to this main city is easy. I think luckily for me, I met a lot of great people in my first year, and I made lots of friends in my accommodation building. With that being said, a lot of them were not first years. Some of them were postgrads, some of them were third years, some of them were second years. Not everyone I met was a first year, and I feel like I had to just accept that all my friends are not going to be first years just because I'm not in the same environment as them. But I did put myself out there. I did meet people. I did go and do different activities, join different societies, join different clubs. I guess that bit was the only hard bit about living in private, having to put yourself out there and make an effort to meet people, not having flatmates so they're going to be your initial best friends in uni. I didn't really have that. So putting yourself out there is one of the best ways to get on top of living in private as a first year. So some quick pros about living in private accommodation is it's private. You are probably going to have your own room, your own kitchen, your own bathroom, and for some people that really means a lot to them, and that's what they're looking for when they're looking for accommodation at university. Some people pick ensuite rooms, and in private accommodation you mostly have your own kitchen, your own room, your own toilets, showers, just for yourself, and that was one of the biggest pros for me. Would I recommend living in private? I definitely would recommend it if you're a very independent person and you like your own space. If the cost of accommodation doesn't really bother you, then I would recommend it. If you're thinking about it, I would recommend it because it's a way to expand your social circles, it's a way to be comfortable in yourself as you grow as a person, you live on your own, you provide for yourself, you take care of yourself, and you're really on your own. But you can also go out and meet people and bring people back and go out again. You have your communal areas, you can even go to your friend's accommodation, you can come back to yours and you have your own space, especially around exam time as well. It was very nice to have my own space to study. It was quiet as well because a lot of people were older. So it was quite quiet during exam season. You didn't really have to complain about noise or partying and all of that. Everyone was very respectful of each other. So I hope that was helpful, and if you need any more information about private accommodation, please feel free to message me. Please join all the ACS chats through our Instagram. We have all the information there. Join the chats, message us. We're here to help you and make your university experience as amazing as possible.